Welcome back to TMZ Sports. I'm your host, Mojo Mutati, and today we have a very special, a very busy guest right now, the TNA Knockouts World Champion, Jordynne Grace, joining us. Jordynne, how you doing today, my friend?
I am doing great. I'm tired, but I'm doing really good.
Well, before we talk about anything, we got to talk about what you're wearing right now because you have a very busy week, from what I understand, and you're right in the middle of filming your own stuff right now.
Yeah, I'm doing motion capture for one of the WWE video games, so I got the full outfit on. I'm actually in one of their interview booths right now, so it's like a soundproof booth.
So is this just a week of you running through and doing all the entrances and all the moves? Because I feel like that is exhausting to go through an entire roster.
We're
With
actually doing the story for the video games, so it's like a choose your own adventure thing. So we're having to go through the story aspect of it. So it's actually a little bit more fun. It's kind of wacky.
well, that's just awesome to hear. I mean, you are without a doubt one of the most versatile people in the entire professional wrestling world. From everything that you've done inside of wrestling, we're going to talk about that extensively here in a minute. Everything you've done on the outside with all your brand partners and the way you've been able to create your brand in a completely different light, and then things like this. So really cool, all that you have going on. But let's jump right in. Let's talk about Battleground. You just had a huge match against Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship. A lot of crazy things happened during that. Excuse me. Sorry. We'll pick that up. Um, a lot of crazy things happened during that match, but please tell me about how it went.
It was incredible, to be honest with you. I didn't even know that this was a part of history that I could make. So just being there was a dream come true. I kept pinching myself to make sure that I wasn't asleep. Roxanne is an amazing wrestler. I'm very lucky to have gotten to work with her. And just WWE in general was so welcoming and accommodating to me. I'm very grateful to have had that opportunity.
I mean, a really cool match. I mean, it was fireworks. Then you see the return of Ash by Elegance on WWE TV. What was that like, having her come out during the end of your match? A little bit of interference there.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. I watched it back on commentary. I didn't realize that one of the commentators almost called her by her WWE name beforehand. So I thought that was really funny. He had to correct himself really quick. But yeah, she's someone that she's a really nice person in real life. But she's someone who's been sitting ringside watching my matches for months now since she got to TNA, and I'm really excited to see where it's all going to culminate. I don't know yet. The fans don't know yet, so it's going to be a surprise to me too.
I mean, that's going to be an incredible matchup whenever that happens. I mean, because you're talking about, I mean, two powerhouses, right? Two just dominant, physical, brutal talent. I mean, you're the juggernaut, and you look at her background too. I mean, I can't wait to see what that's going to look like. Going to
And
be
let me tell you, Mojo, she has been beating the shit out of people in TNA. She came from WWE. Everybody thought she was gonna be like, kind of she was gonna be weird to integrate because they're usually lighter handed over there. That is not the case with Ash. She's nailing people for real.
Well, it seems like you'll be ready for that because you yourself have sustained a lot of trauma in your matches, including one very unique, very particular injury you had this past weekend, right?
Yes, and you'd say it's unique, but it's crazy that it's happened two times in the past month. Two of my earrings have got pulled out. One in the inside, and then last weekend I actually had this entire earring pulled down and my ear ripped. Had to go back to get stitches. So it's funny. During the match, my ear was bleeding, and I just remember being so mad. Like I wasn't hurting, I was just so angry. And I hear that they wanted to see if they had to stop the match because I was bleeding so profusely. But I imagine I would have been a lot more upset if they had stopped the match. But yeah, man, it was pretty bad, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to have ear piercings ever again.
I bet. I mean, did you know when it happened right away, or was your adrenaline pumping so much? I mean, you didn't notice until you just felt the blood, or?
I knew because as soon as it got ripped out and it was stuck in Roxanne's fishnets for half the match, and people were screenshotting it and be like, "Why is Jordan bleeding?" And then screenshotting Roxanne's tights, and they were like, "What is that?"
I mean, that right there is kind of a trophy in itself, right? These badass moments that us as wrestlers we live for. I mean, it's kind of hard to top something like that, right?
They had to change the canvas. So if that tells you anything about how much I was bleeding.
Well, they at least owe you at least one square of that canvas. That is a trophy for you forever. Let's talk about some of these other intangibles, in the professional wrestling world. Getting to work with Shawn Michaels, Matt Bloom over there, the coaches at NXT. What was that experience like?
I was so nervous and intimidated going into WWE into the performance center because obviously you don't know how these people are. So they were so nice that I was shocked, to be honest with you. It's just the level that they're at and the level that I feel I'm at, they just treated me like I was just one of their own. So I feel like I'm very lucky to have gotten to work with them, especially like basically my first real experience with WWE. Obviously, I did the Rumble, but I didn't really talk to, Hunt Triple H one on one. But me and Sean, like, we were able to talk a lot about the future of everything, and it was really special to me.
Well, the future is looking extremely bright for you, and that has the internet buzzing right now because you're making history right now. I mean, I'm sure you're aware of it. Twitter's been lighting up about it, but never before, right? Has there been a talent that's been able to simultaneously go back and forth from TNA and WWE? I mean, really from WWE anywhere else. When you're there, you're there. No one gets to work anywhere else, but you're literally being pulled back and forth. I mean, you're the first. I mean, what is that experience like? Is that going to open the door for other talent to do the same? Because, I mean, everybody's looking at you to see what the future is going to look like right now.
You know, people are looking at me, but honestly, I don't know what's going to happen next. I would absolutely love to be able to go back and forth. Like, I want it to be not a quote unquote forbidden door. I want it to be a revolving door. I just want talent to be able to go in and out whenever like the opportunity comes, or whether it would be like an amazing match or opportunity. Um, but yeah, it's crazy to me that it's me that it's happening to, because I've always wanted to work for TNA. I've always wanted to work for WWE, and getting to work for both at the same time is nothing that I would have ever considered to be in the cards for anybody, much less me. So the fact that it's happening and kind of like the spotlight is on me, there's a lot of pressure, but it's very exciting to just think about what the future is going to hold.
Well, you hear WWE has been beyond impressed with your work. The proof's in the pudding, right? They've called you back multiple times right now, so that speaks for itself. But to talk about TNA, no rest for the wicked, right? You just had this huge match with WWE, but you still carry a title in TNA and you still are defending it. Believe you have an open challenge this week. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, I have an open challenge on Friday at Sister of Stadium. It's actually sold out right now, but people can watch it on the TNA Plus app. I don't know who it's going to be. It could be anybody from any company. I'm kind of hoping a little bit that someone from the NXT roster decides to step up. Like, fingers crossed. I would love from someone from over there to come, but honestly, it's anybody can come from any company. I welcome them. TNA welcomes them.
Oh my goodness, that would be fantastic if a WWE contracted talent, somebody in NXT, wherever showed up and challenged you on Friday. I'm sure that would blow the roof off of the building. Going to be really exciting to see. But Jordynne, I know you have a crazy week. You still are in your suit and you got to get back to work. Thank you for
I got to put my
finding.
hat back on.
Thank you so much for finding time to chat with us. We got to have you back on soon.
Thank you, Mojo.